Have you ever wondered how exposures and OCD treatment actually change the brain? Let's talk about it. I'm Dr. Melissa Germain, a licensed clinical psychologist specializing in OCD and anxiety. One of the most helpful ways to understand exposure and response prevention is through something called the Inhibitory Learning Model. The idea is that your brain is constantly updating itself based on your experiences. Every time an obsession shows up and you respond with a compulsion, your brain strengthens the association that that thought was important, the emotion was dangerous, and the compulsion was necessary to get that relief. Then over time, the learning becomes more efficient because it has been reinforced over and over again. When you engage in exposure and response prevention, you're giving your brain a completely different experience. So instead of reinforcing the old learning, you're creating the opportunity for new learning. Your brain begins to encode, maybe I can experience this intrusion, this emotion, this body sensation, this urge, without needing to do a compulsion. This doesn't mean your brain erases the original pattern. What changes is that you begin developing a new learning pathway that competes with the old one. So every time you approach an exposure and engage in response prevention, you strengthen that new pathway. One of the most powerful parts of this model is something called the expectancy violation. This means that OCD predicts that something terrible will happen if you don't do the compulsion. So when you resist the compulsion and allow yourself to have a different experience, your brain has the opportunity to learn that OCD's prediction is not the only possible outcome. So now this new learning becomes available the next time OCD shows up, allowing you to take that risk and try again. This is why I tell my clients all the time, every exposure is an opportunity to teach your brain something new. Remember, recovery is about repeatedly showing your brain through your behavior that you are capable of responding differently, that you can do the hard thing and get to the other side safely.